And I were just having this talk outside a little while ago, and you learn by doing. You don't learn by watching. You do it and you mess up, and then you learn from your mistakes. The last thing you ever want to do is learn by watching. So for instance, if you guys sit here and watch me do math, you get very, very good at watching me do math, which does you absolutely no good, okay? If you want to be good at math, you got to do math. If you want to be good at tech, you got to do tech. If you want to be a good baseball player, you got to play baseball. You can't not play and expect to get good. So we're going to go through the do it question number 1, 2, and then the 3 parts of 3. And then we're going to do 3 equations with you, pause for a minute, 3 equations with you, pause for a minute, and I think 3 more. And we're just going to go through them step by step until we're confident that you guys have a really good idea of what it is you're doing and how you're doing it. I just want to take one other minute to talk about your relearn packets. I will be here for extra help tomorrow morning, so I strongly suggest that you bring your relearn packet and we get working on it. I know some kids in here have already been working on it. Can you raise your hand if you're working on it already? Okay, so you want to, and in every case, listen carefully, you must watch the video first. If you come to me and you haven't watched the video, and I'll know right away by looking at part A. If everything's done properly, then you watch the video and you copied the notes down. If you did not do that, I'm not going to help you. You must watch the video for part A. If you need to go to the library or patch-up library or borrow someone's cell phone, whatever you got to do, you watch those videos and you learn from them, okay? And then I'll help you on parts B and C. All right, so we got number 1 here. Evaluate 4 to the 0 plus 3 times 4 to the negative 3. This is a tricky question. So let's see if we're able to do it here. What is anything to the 0 power? 1. Plus 3 times a negative exponent. What does a negative exponent do? I'm going to say negative exponent. You're going to say reciprocal, sir. A negative exponent.
Reciprocal, sir.
So now, first off, the negative 3 only applies to the 4. Reciprocal means 1 over 4 to the 3. 4 to the third is 64, not 12, right? 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So this is 1 plus 3 times 1 over 64, which is 1 plus 3 over 64, right? Because 3 times 1 is 3, which is 1 and 3/64. It looks so easy, but it is not. It is a challenging, difficult question. You've got to understand the order of operations, that the exponent negative 3 here does not refer to the 3, it only refers to the 4. And you need to understand also the negative exponent is a reciprocal. This is not easy, okay? Number 2, express the product in scientific notation. Multiply coefficients, add exponents. What's 7 times 7? 49. Times 10, add exponents. What's negative 5 and negative 3?
Negative 8.
Negative 8. I'm done, right?
No.
No, what do I got to do?
You got it.
Make 49.
And to do that, I need to divide by 10, right? So how do I balance out the dividing by 10? Multiplying by 10. And that's 10 to the 1. So I get 4.9 times 10. What's negative 8 and positive 1?
Negative 7.
Negative 7. 4.9 times 10 to the negative 7. Chris, I'm looking at you today and I'm saying you're not into this. Here's the deal. Have you been doing good work? I think so. I really do. I looked at your average today. I think there's a lot of positives going on here. The problem is you're distracted. And then as soon as that starts, then the grades stop. So we need to put that away. And we need to be the kid who's learning how to be a good student. Know what I mean? To be tempted to be distracted makes you very, very normal. It does not make you bad. But we got to learn to fight past that. Okay? If it means anything to you, I'd really rather be home doing a nap and doing anything but teaching right now. But it's time to teach. And I got to teach tonight until, let's see, I got teaching till the end of school. I'm going to go home, hit a bike ride. I got to come back. I got to do 3 hours worth of tutoring. Then when I come home, I'll go to eat dinner. I'll go to bed. And then tomorrow I got teaching, followed by 2.5 hours of photography club, followed by 2 tutorings, and then I got to sit in the parking lot and wait for 200 pounds of ground beef to arrive.
Why?
Because we feed our dogs raw meat, and this is their monthly order of beef. Not monthly, like several monthly. order of beef. And yesterday when I got home, during my few minutes of free time, I defrosted the freezer so I would have room to put the beef in the freezer. So I'm running on empty here, but we do what we can do, okay? 4.9 times 10 to the negative 7, that's my correct answer. Are there any questions about that? Because as I said yesterday, this manipulation where you realize to divide by 10 and multiply by 10, or possibly vice versa, is a very big skill that we want to make sure that you have as we go forward through this year. Okay, we good? Derek, you ahead in the game here? All right. Next. These three equations. This is what we've been spending so much time working on. And on your next test, this is the nuts and bolts of the next test. The next test will be made up of, thank you, a significant amount of review, and it'll be made up of a significant amount of equations. So when you're doing your relearn packet now, you're actually preparing for your next test at the same time that you're improving your last test. Because you take that test before the next test and you improve on that, then all of the review questions on the next test, you know better. So you're helping both test scores. And then you're going to have a bunch of equations like this. So let's make sure we know how to solve these. When it comes to equations, there are basically three things, multi-step equations, that we need to know now. First, whenever I see a number outside a parenthesis, I always want to make sure that I distribute. And then, using the equal sign as the dividing mark, there are two possibilities. There's same side and there's opposite side. So each time we're like a quarterback playing football. We walk up to the line of scrimmage and we go 10-21, and we look at that defense. And we say to ourselves, what kind of defense are they playing? I need to call the appropriate play. I have to have the right strategy for that defense. Likewise, when you come in and you look at a question like 3A, you got to ask yourself, is it multi-step? We got same side, opposite? Do we distribute? And you look and you figure out which one is which. And then you do the correct strategy. So as we look at A, is this a same side situation or is it an opposite side situation? Rach?
Same side.
Same side. But this one's a little different than the ones we've done so far. Not only are the ends on the same side, but so too are the numbers. And we should do both. It's possible not to, but it should do both. What's same side, same operation? What's 6 ends minus 2 ends?
4 ends.
4 ends. Spencer, you with me here, bud? And the next thing to put together is, what's a positive 7 and a negative 4? Positive 7, negative 4.
Positive 3.
Positive 3 equals 15. All right. Selena, we've now gotten this into standard two-step form. What's the first thing that I want to do right here once I get it to this point? We're going to attack the 4 or the 3. Which one do you think we attack first? Definitely. We always want to go for the plus or the minus first, once we put them together. That says plus 3. Everybody, what do we do? Minus 3. Die. I didn't touch the 4 end. 15 minus 3 is 12. Now, 4n means what operation? ¿Qué es una operación?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. ¿Qué es una positivo operación? Multiplicación.
Division.
Division. Divide by 4. In Spanish, I'm not pretty good at Spanish, huh? What I said was, what's the opposite operation of multiplication? And they said it's division, which it is. So 4 divided by 4, I get n equals 3. There's my correct answer. N is 3. Okay? How many people got that right? I would say if you got that right, you're doing very good. How many people kind of did some of it right and some of it wrong? All right, you want to just clean that up a little bit. Keep working it. Okay? Next. Is this a same side situation, letter B, or is it an opposite side situation?
Opposite.
Opposite. So now here's a nugget of wisdom that's very important. For many years, I had Mr. Friend teaching with me one period a day. And he gave me great insight into how some kids that he's taught who have struggled with math, perceive things. Now, I would have looked at this, for many years of teaching, I would have looked at this and I would have said, okay, we're just going to subtract 2h. And I never would have stopped to explain to kids why. And then he made me slow down and explain why to kids. this is important. When you have an opposite side situation, you always want to undo whatever the smallest number of the letter is. Now, what's smaller, 7 H's or 2 H's?
2 H's.
So the reason you're going to do this with minus 2H now is because it gives you the best chance of keeping things positive. Now, I did the same exact thing, but he had a better way of explaining it, okay? What are 7 H's minus 2 H's?
5 H's.
5 H's. I did not touch the minus 5, it's still there. Die. Danger, danger, danger. This is the third most deadly type of math
Why
equation
is
in
the
the whole
third?
world. Because the other one is second, you haven't seen the first. Deadly type of math equation. What kind of 15 is that? Because if you just bite you, you're a goner.
I don't like this accent.
It's a negative. So you have to remember to bring the negative down with the 15 because it is a negative 15. It is not a 15. So we bring that negative down. Hey! You see
I
this
know
thing?
you.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Don't these two look almost the same? I mean, I know the numbers change a little, but isn't it like a number, a letter, a plus, a minus, a thing that equals a number? That's your
That should be a
standard
rap.
two-step equation. That's why when I asked Selena before, we always start with the numbers, and she knew to go to minus 3. So when I look at this one, Selena, what do I attack first there? Yeah, is it the 5 in front of the H or the minus 5 over here? That's right. That says minus 5, so what do?
Add 5.
Add 5. I want to do opposites. Die!
Scary.
Did I touch the 5H?
No.
It's a good little 5H. Isn't he a good boy?
No.
Good boy. He gets to stay. He was bad. We killed him. Equals. Now, what's negative 15? Oh, we live in a real world here. This is Wild West justice. What is negative 15 and positive 5?
Negative 10.
I got 15 negatives, 5 positives. Tell me what I got.
Negative 10.
Negative 10. See, Papel was sitting there very politely raising his hands. He all jumped into his game.
Sorry.
Now,
Enthusiastic.
let's see if we can bring this to the next step here. Mr. Marca. 5H. What operation is 5H? Tello, help him out. What operation is it? 5H. Multiplication, right? Well, that's what we have to do, right? See, Jason, this means to multiply. What's the opposite of multiply? So I divide by 5. I divide. die. H
thought it was
equals
good.
negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. There's my correct answer.
I thought he was good.
I'm only Mr. Linquist. Okay.
I'm not Linquist.
Well, I heard somebody say, oh my God.
I didn't.
I'm only Mr. Linquist.
Oh, fine.
Okay. Now, the third type of multi-step. And this is really it. These are all the ones we're going to study this year. I see the number outside the parentheses. What's the name of that property that I'm going to use here? Distributive. Very good. What's 4 times 2x?
8X.
8x. What's 4 times negative 3?
12.
Equals what's 33 negatives and another 3 negatives?
36 negative.
36 negatives. Negative 36. Okay?
It's a dragon.
Now, Mr. Marco, Selena, see the form here? See the form here? See how it goes? It's all the same. It always comes back to this part. That's why we call this the foundation, the fundamental equation. If we can solve this, we can get anything right. Well, if we can't solve this, we can't get anything right. If we can, and then we learn how to get into this form, we'll get everything right as we go along. Selena, we're going to come back to you again. What do I attack first? Now, you got the first 2 right. What do I go after on this one? Beautiful. What's the opposite of minus 12? That's right. I like negative 12 more. What's the opposite of negative 12? Normal 12. We call that positive 12. Did I touch the 8x?
No.
No. All right. If I have 36 negatives and 12 positives, what do I really have? Negative 24. Nicely done.
Ah.
Now, Mr. Marca, 8x, what operation? So you need to do the opposite, which is, nice, divide by 8, divide by 8. X is -3. Yes?
Will the numbers ever be a decimal or no? Or we did?
Oh, they could come out to be a decimal. To be honest with you, I make up these equations. You can really tell, anytime you see this font, that means I made it up. When it's a different font, that means I took it from someplace. Now, do I make mistakes? What's the softball saying? Hello, my name is Mr. Lindquist, and I'm not perfect. So I do make mistakes. But the thing is, too, sometimes I want them to work out to be fractions and decimals, because on certain tests, the state will give it to you in fractions and decimals, and I don't want you believing you're wrong. Because you'll do that, right? You'll look at what I do wrong, and then you'll spend 10 minutes looking for your mistake. So sometimes I do that to gain in you an awareness that it doesn't have to be perfect. It usually is, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, what's that? All right, so remember that video I showed you on the first day where he said, it's a lie, it's a lie. You don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
And it's the truth. You do not have to be perfect. What you need to do is you walk through that door, you bring your A game, you kick butt, and you do the best job you can when you're here. And then when you go home at night, you think about your schoolwork and you say to yourself, my life matters. My future matters. And I am not going to let anyone stop me from having a good future. So I'm going to dedicate my time. And you do that each and every day. There's another line in that video that said, greatness is a bunch of simple things done right over and over again. And that is the God's honest truth. Greatness is a bunch of simple things done right over and over and over again. And when you do that, you can produce. If you don't do that over and over and over again, you don't produce. It's as simple as that. Okay, I would like you guys to do these first 3 questions. I will go over the answers with you in uno momento. Go ahead. Numbers 1 through 3.
47. 89.
Yes. When you're done with these 3. Go ahead.
Do the juice.
Die.
Okay, so I started each of them off. What did I do in every problem? I what?
You rewrote it just.
But there is a difference between what they had and what I had. I did a step. What is that step called?
You distributed.
Distributed. Very good. Ladies, in each step I distributed. Now, this gets to a normal situation here. Diana, what do we do here, first step? Nice, add 10 is correct. So that gives me 5n equals -15. Now, I'm going to change things up a little bit here. Selena. Oh, okay. All right. Selena, I haven't asked you this one yet. I've been going after Mr. Mark on this one. 5n equals negative 15. What operation is 5n? Is it add, subtract, multiply, divide? Give me a guess. It's okay to be wrong. No. Adding would be if it said plus, right? Subtracting would be if it says minus. So this either means that 5n either means you're multiplying 5 and n, or it means you're dividing 5 and n. What do you think it means, 5n? What does it mean when there's no symbol between things? Yeah, it means multiply, okay? So 5n means 5 times n. Now, what is the opposite of to multiply? Everybody?
Divide.
Divide. So I'm going to divide by 5. Die, n equals. Now, very important if we want to get good with sign numbers, okay? I'm dividing by a positive, so I keep that sign. Everybody look here one more time. Chris? Derek? I'm dividing by a positive, so I keep the sign. Negative 3. Okay? What do you notice in number 2? Rich?
That, like, you have to add, like, there's both things on the equal, like.
Yeah, look,
side
this is the
equal
same
side.
side situation, right? It does, the same side doesn't have to be on the left, it can be on the right. Spencer, 3 and 3 make what? Nice. So 9x minus 21 equals 6.
That's what he did.
Okay. Jerry, what's my first step here? Add 21 to both sides, right? Good job. Die. 9x equals 27. Now, Selena, we just were talking before about how 9x means 9 times x, right? Now, what's the opposite of multiply? Divide, right. So I divide by 9. Good. X equals 3. And that's my correct answer. Okay? Any questions on either of those first two? Caitlin, how we looking? Nice. Very good. Okay, so now we get to the third one. What do I attack first? Let's see here. Stephen, what am I going to attack here?
You put -8.
Very good. Subtract 8 from both sides. Die. 6y equals 300. What's my next step here? Mr. Roach?
Oh, hold on, let me look at that. You would divide 6 by 3.
Always say both sides. I divide 6 into both sides. So 300 divided by 6 is 50. Okay? All right, now this is what I would love to see you guys do right now. I want you to do the next 3 questions, but feel free to talk to each other as you're going through them. Compare your answers. Get yours, compare it to the guys next to you. Don't just sit there quietly. Confirm your answers or correct your answers. Confirm or correct.
47. 89.
Not hearing a lot of noise, so don't be afraid to communicate now. Confirm and correct. Attaboy, Roach, good job.
What'd you think?
I'm liking it. We have discussion. Looking good. I don't know about the need for damn. Step back, sissa.
Sissa.
You go talking about my street talk. Bust you up.
Whoa! I'm dying.
Get this one. What? I don't know.
Class almost over. Like another 4 minutes. And then I think 52, so 3 minutes it ends.
Should I go now?
Show one a long time ago.
Okay, ready? Let's go through the first one together. First, when I see that number outside the parentheses, what am I always thinking? Nice job, Mr. Tello. I am going to distribute. So I distribute to 3 and I get 3x minus 12. Very, oh wait. I could call you a Tello-tubby. I like it. You're a Tello-tubby. Very cool. There we go. All right, so.
Tons.
Now, hey, Tello-tubby. Bite your tongue. Look, we have a problem here. We have the x's on the same side. As soon as I see the x's on the same side, what do I always do? Same side?
Same operation.
Very good. So I have 3 x's. Here's the key sign here. Plus 2 x's make what?
5 X's.
That's one answer. That's not good. If I have $3 and $2, you all know what we make there, right? $5.
Oh, so I did
So
get it
if
right.
I do 3 x's and 2 x's, I get 5x.
Because he said that's only one.
Minus 12.
Yeah,
Hey, you guys have been awesome so far, but you're losing it right now. And we have like 2 minutes left, and we want to really finish strong. I got my 5x minus 12 is 13. What's my next step? What do I need to do here? Everybody.
Add
to
12.
Good.
Oh my God, I'm so
This is
enthusiastic.
so much better than the quiz the other day. 5x gets brought down, 13 and 12 make
25.
25. Now I divide by 5.
You get
X
5.
is 5. How many people got that right? Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as how hard an equation in this course can be, that you're looking at about a 7.5 out of 10. So that's a pretty tough question. You learn how to do it, you can do just about anything I throw at you. What am I going to do here? What am I doing here? Sit right. Distribute. 2 times 4 is 8. What's 2 times negative 2n? Negative 4n equals 5n minus 19. Is this the same side or an opposite side?
Opposite.
Opposite operation. Now, hey, start with the smaller one. Add 4n to both sides. And then proceed. Okay, hasta la vista. Vaya con Dios. Toodaloo. Ta-ta. Arrivederci. Smile a lot. Ciao. Arrivederci. Adios amigos y amigas. Cheerio. Yeah, because you didn't show your work and do that step right there.
I know, but is it right?
No.
Poor choice of left side.
I agree.
It was an accident, but I never.
We got to get you to be a little sharper on that. You know what I mean? Do you have any idea how great you would be if you got a good work ethic going on? You don't want to talk about that, do you?
I do.
Okay.
I don't know what my average is.
I don't know off the top of my head. Can you get on the parent portal?
Nope.
All right. If you were to like come up to me in the mornings before classes start and ask,